Good morning, ladies and gents. It is Monday and it is check-in day. So I decided I am going to take you along for a day in the life as an online coach on check-in day. So, first order of business, nothing too interesting. I'm going to brush my teeth. Now, it is currently 6 a.m. and I'll be honest, I did actually sleep in a little bit this morning. I know some people that probably sounds fucking stupid that 6 a.m. is sleeping in, but I tend to get up around 5. But last night I was pretty late getting to bed. I just had a lot of stuff to finish off. And plus, my body clock is still adjusting to being 4 hours ahead, so it's been a little bit weird getting used to it. But I'd say another day or two and I'll basically be completely used to it. It just takes like 3 or 4 days to adjust. Today is a pretty long day, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a run on the treadmill, because where I am right now isn't that walkable, and I don't want to have to be like thinking very consciously about where I'm going as I'm running. I just want to be able to just fucking get the run done. For a while, when I used to do runs on check-in day, I used to do them in the evening, and it was nice to kind of like de-stress after a really, really long day, because like as much as I enjoy check-ins, it's a long day. Like, it's the longest day of the week, but it's really nice getting your workout done in the morning and then finishing check-ins and having nothing to do in the evening. Like, that is really, really nice. So I did switch to that. I have to say, in Ireland, after a while, I did find it quite tough as the weather got worse to get in runs in the morning. Like, I found it really, really hard. Like, I would consider myself as someone who has a decent level of discipline, but getting out at like 5 a.m. for a run in the cold, dark and wet, and having to put on like a thermal layer, a fucking, a reflector jacket, a hat, gloves, everything, like, it's tough getting out there, like it is. Okay, I am gonna quickly get, oh, wrong fucking cupboard, fuck's sake, a Rice Krispie bar. I think there's only one left. Rice Krispie bar. I am gonna munch on this, and I'm gonna head upstairs to the gym to do my run. Now, my run this morning is annoyingly long. Well, it's an easy run, so it's a zone 2 run, and for people who don't know, zone 2 is basically like the aerobic zone. So if you imagine, if you're trying to improve your fitness, zone 2 is like the foundation of your house. So it's boring, it's not sexy, it's not very hard, but it has to be done. So it's basically just getting more efficient running at like a slowish pace, or like a medium to slow pace. But they have to be done. So today on the menu is 75 minutes of zone 2 running. And I'll be honest, doing these on a treadmill as well can be quite torturous, because they're boring as fuck. Like, you're just kind of plodding along, but I'd rather just get it done on the treadmill rather than trying to kind of figure out a route and kind of complicating it. I think I could do that once I'm more settled. But for now, I think just for ease sake, it makes sense just kind of get it done on the treadmill, get it boxed off. Plus, it's fucking convenient. Like, it's literally, the gym is here, and the gym is honestly so good for a gym that's in an apartment building. Like, the amenities here for an apartment building are unreal, but I don't actually know if I'm going to be staying here. I don't think I am. I'm not 100% sure yet. They do have accommodation here, but it's fucking pricey. It's a little bit more pricey than I had expected based off how much I'm paying at the moment. If it was like monthly for what I'm currently paying, I probably could stretch to it, but it's a little bit pricey. It's one of those where I could definitely make it work, but it would kind of cut me down in terms of spending on other stuff. So I'm not 100% sure. What I'm actually thinking of doing is doing like 1 or 2 weeks in a few different places, or even 3 or 4 weeks in a few different places, like different areas, testing them out, and then deciding where I want to stay long term. Rather than I was nearly just gonna go, oh, fuck it, I'll just stay here for 3 months, but like I think that is kind of silly in a way, because you shouldn't just fucking stay at the first place you're in. Like you shouldn't commit here like without trying out other places first. I think it makes more sense to try out some other stuff, especially the stuff that's more reasonable out there, because then I can potentially have some other what we call luxuries, like potentially a food prep service, potentially renting a car. Whereas here, I could do that stuff, but I wouldn't be saving much money, if that makes sense. I'd be doing grand, like I'd be able to afford it, but I wouldn't be saving money, which I think is, I want the bank account to be going up. Anyway, so I'm going to munch on this Rice Krispie bar, and then I'm going to take you upstairs. I'm not going to show you much of the run because it's fucking boring. I never know whether to hit the down one or the up one, I genuinely never know. What was I going to say? Yeah, you're probably wondering why the fuck is this guy wearing a hat? And that would be a very valid question. I'll tell you why I'm wearing a hat. Because I don't have headphones, I only have AirPods. And whatever way my ears are made, they fall out unless I wear a hat. So I'm stuck with this hat on my head. The other thing is too, I got like a pair of those earphones that are supposed to go around your ear so that they don't fall off when you're running, and I can't hear the music with them in. I don't know if I'm wearing them wrong or what the story is, but they ain't working like they're supposed to. A sweaty one. It's gonna take me a while to get used to this heat. Like, that was zone 2 and I had to go really slow. I had to almost switch between walking and running, which for context, my zone 2 is usually around 5 minutes per kilometre, or maybe slightly below, depending on the day. But I've been actually off my feet a little bit the past couple of weeks. So the past, like, say 3 weeks, I haven't been doing much running because I had a couple of niggles I picked up. So I had, first off, I had my plantar cropped back up. It actually cropped back up in November, and that kind of slowed me down. And then December, just before my November High Rocks, my plantar kicked in, and then like a week before my Stockholm High Rocks, my fucking Achilles was in bits. Oh my god. My Achilles after the Stockholm High Rocks, like I was fucking stumbling around Stockholm the next couple of days, and then I had like a deload over Christmas, and then when I came back to running, still was at me a little bit, so I took a bit of time off again. I was still training, switched to the bike for a while, so a lot of my harder sessions and my zone 2 sessions, most of my running sessions, I was switching to the bike instead, which was grand. But even though technically you're training at a similar intensity in terms of heart rate, if you're not running for a while and you go back to running, usually you will find that it takes you a few weeks to kind of get back to where you were, because running is load bearing, so in that way it can spike the heart rate a little bit quicker than you would on a bike. So I was finding there that like I was running at a way slower pace than I would have been zone 2 previously. And the other thing as well is the heat definitely has an impact too, so getting used to the heat. But yeah, that's the 75 minutes done. So I'm gonna make my breakfast now. And actually, I thought I would mention this as well. So clients know, and most people know, I'm big on breakfast. Like, I'm a big breakfast person. I don't really think people should skip breakfast. very rarely, personally. But the reason that I only had a wee Rice Krispie bar, or like would have something like a Squares bar or a banana before I trained this morning, is because when I was training at home, I would have a breakfast, but that's because I had a 40-minute drive to the gym. So by the time I've ate, gotten out of the house, gotten to the gym, it's pretty much digested. However, here, I'm literally going right upstairs. So between when I eat that Rice Krispie bar and when I start my workout, there's like 5 or 10 minutes, which really isn't even enough time to digest that. But once the workout is kind of properly started, it generally be digested. So that's why I wouldn't be having a big breakfast. That's why I'm having my breakfast now, which I am going to show you what I am making, because it's, well, fucking you guessed it, it's gonna be protein porridge. I must admit, something that I am absolutely loving about being in Dubai is that I'm 4 hours ahead. Like, I'm absolutely loving that, because, now don't get me wrong, there are certain things about it that are like slightly annoying, but I love the fact that it's 8 a.m. now, and it's 4 a.m. for most of my clients. So I feel like I'm ahead of them. And if anything, all my clients are behind me. So I used to have a couple of clients in Australia, but I don't anymore. So all my clients are in Ireland, which means they're 4 hours behind, or they're in pretty much US/Canada, which means that most of them are between 10 and 12 hours behind. So I constantly feel like I'm ahead of them, which is a really nice feeling. So when I wake up on check-in day, and let's say, like, usually, to be honest with you, most of the times I'm fucking cracking all my check-ins by 5 a.m. at home, because that means that by the time I'm finished them, it's the latest, it's like 4 or 5. Because I don't really like people getting their check-ins too late on a Monday, because I think it's important that they have them relatively early in the day. Whereas now, pretty much fucking everyone is going to have them by like 1 p.m, 2 p.m, which is awesome. Like, it's so good feeling like I'm ahead of the game. Anyways, protein porridge. So, I don't have a digital scales yet. I don't have scales to step on, whatever you call that, bathroom scales, and I don't have a weigh-in scales for the kitchen yet either, which, I'll be honest, is a little bit of a pain. That's probably about right. Is a little bit of a pain, but the reason I haven't bought them yet is because I don't know where I'm staying yet. So there's a lot of stuff I kind of want to buy, but I don't want to buy until I'm settled, so that I don't have to worry about like bringing it to loads of places, if that makes sense. But yeah. Anyway, so porridge, and as mentioned in the last video, I do my porridge with water. So we will throw that in the microwave for 2 minutes. And actually, I'm not too concerned with talking you through all of this, so I'm going to check back in once I actually have the fucking porridge made. I don't know about you, but if you're asking me, I think this banana is a little bit too big. What do I know? So I won't be having the full banana, I'll be having part of the banana. Wow, was that on camera? That was kind of fucking cool, the way it just... Be amazing if it went all the way through. Anyways, right, wow, it's the perfect size now. Actually, I said I wouldn't take you through the porridge. I'm not really taking you through the porridge. Anyways, but I am gonna pop a Red Bull Zero. Man drinks fucking caffeine with fucking sweetener. Kill him. Anyways, so yesterday I was craving caffeine. This is fucking one of the best things ever about Dubai. I was craving caffeine, so I just went on Careem and I just ordered a 4-pack of Red Bull Zero, and I think it arrived in like 8 minutes. Shit's crazy. Now, by the way, look, these are the sorts of things that aren't paramount but can make a difference. Generally, I actually don't recommend having caffeine first thing in the morning. I used to always do it. I was always like, fucking wake up, I'd crack a coffee, crack a Monster, whatever. I'd always crack a Monster before the gym when I train in the morning. But supposedly, well, not supposedly, it does. It inhibits your adenosine system's natural release of cortisol first thing in the morning. People think cortisol is bad. It's not. Cortisol is actually really, really important. It just depends on the context. That's important because you want to have your cortisol throughout the day should essentially spike in the morning, so it should be high in the morning, and then it should lower as the day goes on, which means that you're naturally going to have more energy in the morning, and also that you're going to sleep better at night. Whereas if you have caffeine first thing in the morning, that spike comes not as high and more unpredictable later in the day, and it's more difficult to sustain your energy levels throughout the day, and it also technically could mean that your sleep's a little bit worse. But I say all that stuff, to be honest, you can read too much into shit like that. So like, if you have always had a coffee first thing in the morning, you've never had any problem with your energy, you never have any problem with your sleep, don't fucking worry about it, okay? Like, people, the stress of trying to be perfect will kill you much quicker than your imperfections will. So like, I've seen a guy, I'm not gonna say who it is, but he's fucking awesome coach, like knows his shit. But he was talking about supposedly Bluetooth headphones, I think being carcinogenic or something like that. And I was just like, first of all, the evidence on that is very, very weak. The evidence on the extent to which that would actually have an impact on a human being is very, very weak. And I would just look at that and be like, fucking hell, like, the stress of fucking not being able to use AirPods and having to use fucking wired headphones would kill me sooner than the fucking minor possibility that the Bluetooth will have any impact on me. Does that make sense? So I'm someone who likes to think very, very practically. Like, I think people underestimate how important anecdotal evidence is. So evidence for you. Like, if you have done X and you find X works for you, fucking do X. You know what I mean? Like, you can deep it too much. Everyone is different. Fucking different people's bodies respond to different things. Like, genuinely, like, my clients will know, like, I tend to be quite a, like, I suppose I'd be a little bit anti-keto. Some people, keto really works well for them. Like, some people's bodies suit it better and they don't metabolize carbs as well as other people. Some people suit different types of fiber better. Some people actually respond quite badly to high levels of fiber. So everything is individualized, you know, it's not all one size fits all. So if you find something that works for you, I think that's pretty relevant. Anyways, right, I'm gonna fucking finish this and come back. Okay, so we have got about 80 grams of oats. I'm estimating, but about 80 or so grams of oats. Maybe like 50 grams of banana, 30, probably like 20 grams of protein, it wasn't full scoop, 10 grams of dark chocolate, and 10 grams of peanut butter. Thereabouts. You know, I'm estimating, but I would say thereabouts based off my years of tracking calories. We're gonna throw something on the telly while I eat breakfast. I've actually been watching the movie The Intern. I have never seen it before. I know, I feel like it's a really popular movie, but for some reason I've never seen it before. I've seen clips of it. I feel like I might have seen it a really long time ago and don't remember it. But shut up, Netflix. I have started watching it the other day and I have about like 15 minutes of it left. So I'm going to finish that off with breakfast, and then I'm going to put down, like, I'd say a fucking pretty solid like 4 hour or so block of check-ins. Actually, I'm just after thinking, I completely forgot. So my mentorship has a call at 10 a.m. Irish time every Monday morning, which is going to be at 2 p.m. today. That's so weird, but it probably suits me better. I actually find that it kind of breaks up things a little bit too early when it's at 10 a.m. But now I'll probably work through to like 1:30, eat lunch, and then watch or join that call. Something like that. We'll see. Anyways, right. Alright, well, that's that. Tell you what, Intern, pretty solid movie. Probably give it like 6 or 7 out of 10. Ending was alright. Ended a little bit abruptly, I felt like there was still some open loops, if that makes sense. Plus, she kind of made up with her husband. I don't know, cheat. Personally, I've never been cheated on. I've never cheated on someone. But personally, I'd be of the opinion that there's no coming back from it. But each their own. best of luck to her with it. Anyways, right, I'm gonna get started on check-ins. I will record a wee bit or two, so I'll check back in a while. Yes, Julia, good morning. I hope you are doing fantastic. The pull-ups are flying. I think it's very easy to forget that doing your first pull-up or your first chin-up seemed like a million miles away a couple of months ago. The percentage of women who can do a pull-up is like 1% of the population. It's very, very low. 4 to 5 pull-ups, God knows, it's probably 0.1%. It's probably very, very low. So that you are in like a crazy minority right there. Like, that is something to be incredibly proud of. But honestly, all in all, another very productive week. We are certainly moving in the right direction right now, and I'm very, very happy with your progress. So I hope you're having a super Monday. Any questions, as always, any thoughts, just drop me over a message. Okay, so I actually got a meal prep service this week because I mentioned in my last video that I turned up to this apartment, didn't realize it didn't have a hob or a cooker, so I wasn't properly able to cook myself. Obviously I have a microwave, so I can still make certain things, and I could probably work around it if I went shopping properly, but it's a pain in the ass. I was thinking, or I've been thinking a lot about like trying to buy back my time as much as possible, and I figure trying a meal prep service is a good idea. So actually, these have just arrived today. So these are, this is, I believe, lunch, dinner, and a snack. Now I do think it says on the website what I got, but I'm not gonna lie, I have fucking no idea what's in here. But it is exciting. Okay, so I'm guessing this is the snack. Oh wow, the snack is chocolate chip cookie. Oh, dough protein balls. Okay, so 200 calories, 10 grams of protein. Sick. Why the fuck is my hand cramping? That's really weird. There's that, and then what do we have here? Okay, turkey ham omelette muffin with a few very sorry looking potato fries. Can be enjoyed chilled or reheated. Heat in the microwave. Okay, yeah. And then the last thing is chicken biryani. Okay, that one's kind of cool. Chicken biryani, 400 calories, 22 grams of protein isn't a huge amount. 400 calories. The other one's only 17 grams of protein as well. Jesus, the protein could be a little bit higher. I think I picked, I can't remember what version I picked. I probably didn't pick the high-ish protein one. Although, to be honest, my protein intake tends to be quite high anyway, so it probably doesn't matter that much. Probably still going to get it. But yeah, so I'll be trying those and reviewing them. So that'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see what I think of those. I'll be honest, on first glance, I'm not sure about this one. I'm not 100% sure, but the biryani looks nice. I'd say if as a snack it'll be nice, although I do think the protein could be in a bit higher. So we'll see what we think, because it is, like, it definitely is going to be convenient. It's going to be convenient, but is it worth the money is the question. Because it definitely adds up. But it could be one of those things, like, at the end of the day, like, it's all about buying back your time. So if I think it's worth it, I will keep doing it. But then that depends if I stay here or not, because staying here is a bomb. I really need to make it. Do you know what? I'm curious. If you're watching this, so I really like where I am right now, this apartment building. Now I would have to go to a slightly different apartment, but I really like this building. The location could be better though. Okay, so I love the building, the amenities are unreal. The location could be a little bit better, but it's expensive. Do you think, comment below, should I stay here or should I try somewhere else? So comment below, stay or try somewhere else. I want to know what you think. And one of my clients, Julia, asked me, should she be taking protein powder even though she is currently hitting her protein goal without it? And I kind of said to her, I was like, if you want to try some different meals, you can. So for example, I like my protein porridge in the morning, so I'll always have protein powder in the house, because porridge happens to be one of those breakfast meals where unless you add in a direct protein source, you're not going to get much protein in porridge. But the food she eats, she hits her protein target without any struggle at all. So what I said to her is like, you can try it, but it's definitely not necessary. And I would say, generally speaking, you want most of your protein to come from whole sources. However, protein is a really useful supplement. I do have protein powder every day and I do recommend it to clients. And there is a lot of misconceptions regarding protein powder. So for example, this idea that it's like low quality or that it's like insanely processed, like it lacks understanding. Protein powder is essentially it's essentially powdered milk, like when you really look at it like chemically. And it is also like a good quality whey protein is a really high quality protein. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend it ahead of normal food, because regular food is going to be more filling and more satiating. Okay, however, as if you are someone who struggles to hit your protein intake, sitting there and going, oh, I'd never eat protein powder because it's too processed, you're stepping over pounds to pick up pennies. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been in a consultation call with someone who are like, oh, I'd never eat protein powder. And I'm like, your fucking protein intake is 20 grams a day. Like, you are the exact person who could benefit from it. And also, whey protein and a lot of the good plant proteins have a really good quality amino acid profile as well. So when you look at like what makes up a good protein, the amino acid profile is really relevant. So basically the concentration of essential amino acids in the protein. So you have basically 9 essential, 11 non-essential. So you have 11, there's 20 amino acids total. There's 11 that are naturally occurring in the body. There's 9 that you have to get through your diet. Okay. Now the ones you have to get through your diet, generally speaking, as long as your protein intake is good enough, you'll get enough. But this is part of the reason why there are some drawbacks of plant-based diet, because 100 grams of protein is not always equal to someone else's 100 grams of protein, depending on the quality of the sources. So whey protein actually has a really good amino acid profile. So from a protein perspective, it's great. From a food perspective, in terms of like what's going to fill you up, give you more energy, it's not as good as like chicken breast, okay? But that is just, I'm going off on a tangent there, but it's a reason why 10 grams of protein from rice is not the same as 10 grams of protein from chicken. Does that make sense? So if you eat enough rice, you'll eat enough protein, but that is not as high quality as what you would get in a lean meat. So yeah, gone off on a tangent there, but key takeaway, whey protein is a really useful supplement, and to a lot of people I would recommend it. I would always prefer whole foods, but it is very beneficial, and there are a lot of terrible misconceptions about it. And just in general, the term ultra processed food, if you hear people say that, they rarely know what they're actually talking about. People love throwing around that term. They don't actually understand what that means, because technically pretty much everything you eat is ultra processed. Technically milk is ultra processed because it's fucking homogenized and pasteurized, but nobody is going to complain that milk is ultra processed. Yeah, anyways, I'll leave it there. I could go off. I probably actually should make a video on that in and of itself. Okay, quick pit stop. That was actually a very productive block of check-ins. I'm not finished yet. I'm just going to have a wee snack to keep me going until lunch, which I'm probably going to have around 1:30, and then I have the inner circle call at 2. So I'll eat lunch around 1:30, inner circle call at 2, and I'll finish off check-ins after that, because I'll actually pretty productive block, so I won't have that many to do. Should hopefully be finished by around 4 p.m. That's the game plan. And then I just have to kind of respond to clients and do a bit of admin after that, because the way I do it on Monday, generally I reply to clients throughout the day, but on Monday I don't actually respond to messages until I have my check-ins done. My clients know that, so I just get all my check-ins done and then I get back to messages. But I'm having a snack, so I'm having one of these fucking practical snacks. So it's a chocolate chip cookie dough protein balls. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I already ate one of them. I had one of them. They are quite nice. However, it's kind of small for 100 calories. They're very nice though. So 100 calories, 5 grams of protein. Do you know what is sick about these though? I'm glad that they do this. Easier to show you than explain it. Something they do that is absolutely sick. MyFitnessPal barcode. In fairness, that is very cool and that is very convenient. So I'm gonna munch on this. That is really fucking nice, in fairness. Probably the nicest protein balls I've ever had. So respect where respect is due. But yeah, gonna eat this. Just gonna like fucking stand out in the balcony for a couple of minutes just to fucking give my brain a second to breathe. And I'm gonna plow in, get another maybe 10 or so check-ins done, between 7 and 10, and then take lunch. Alrighty, so let's zoom that shit out. That is the first block of check-ins done. Wait, no. Well, technically I guess it's the first block, but it's most of them done. I don't have that many left, which is great. I tell you what, I am getting shit done a lot quicker here than I was at home, and I think the reason is I don't have as many distractions as a better work environment. Like, I was working out of my bedroom at home. Now technically this is a studio that I'm in, so technically my desk is still quite near my bed, but it just feels like I have a bit more space. It's nicer. It's just a better work environment as a whole. And I am saving so much time by not having to drive to a gym. Now I will have to, for certain sessions, I'm going to have to go to a gym here. Like, I'm not going to be able to do all of them from the gym that's in the apartment. Plus, I'm not necessarily staying here. Remember, comment if you want me to stay here or go somewhere else. Anyways. Okay, time for lunch. We have turkey ham omelette muffin, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean, we have to taste to find out. Also, while I'm here, this has to be said. As someone who has to work from their phone, which means I generally have to spend a decent amount of time on my phone, but I try to do most stuff that I have to do on the laptop, and someone who posts on social media every single day, social media is fucking frying your brain and your productivity. It is 1:30 and I have the majority of my work done. You know why? I haven't even fucking opened Instagram yet, and it's 1:30. I haven't opened TikTok. I haven't even looked at WhatsApp messages on my phone. I've only looked at them on my laptop. So far, if I had been checking my phone, I guarantee you I would have at least another 10 check-ins to do at this point, on top of what I have left. I guarantee it. And you know what? While I'm here, it's probably not going to be able to follow me over here, but I'll be back. And these fuckers actually need to sponsor me. I swear to God, like 100 people have bought this thing because of me. This is the Brick, right? It's a gadget where basically, the way that it works is, if I open up my phone right now, my phone is bricked. Which means, if I click on Instagram, this is what shows up. It's going to be inverted, but I can't get into it. So if I leave this here, right, at home, and then I go to the gym, I can't get on the Instagram. It's not physically possible until I come back and I go open the Brick app, I touch it to the Brick, and then it opens again. Okay? Honestly, if you have no self-control, which, let's be real, when it comes to social media, most people don't, and that's not your fault, because it's fucking difficult to have self-control with social media. It is designed to be impossible to stop using. I would highly recommend this. It's like 50 quid, okay? Really and truly, for something that's going to have like a very positive impact on your life, it's worth doing. Now, if you have self-control, that's fine. If your screen time is fucking 10 hours, get one. Okay, all right, I'm gonna heat this up. We have the burger yoki and the sweet potato fries. They're sorry looking sweet potato fries. That is a sorry enough looking sweet potato fry. So let's taste sweet potato fry first. Right, that's shit enough. Okay, the sweet potato fries are very mid. I'm not impressed with them. This, let's give it a taste. Pretty mid as well. So, protein balls were like 8 or 9 out of 10 for taste. I would say that's a 4. Disappointed with that, but looking in the box, it was the one I was least excited about. So my hopes are high for the chicken biryani. If the chicken biryani can save it, but it's gotta be good. Okay, I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna join this call.
Further reassured. So one thing that I would do, that I'll go back on what I said on the first time I brought this up, was I would start a Trustpilot now. Forwards, just have a campaign where like once a month you just try and collect a few. If you've got a team of coaches, you can add it to their scorecard.
Right, I'm gonna head downstairs really quickly for a coffee to keep me going, and then I will finish off the last block of check-ins, get back to client messages, and then I have some admin to do afterwards. Okay, so that did not go completely to plan because it's 6 p.m. and I'm only just actually finished check-ins because the last few took me a bit longer. There was a few more detailed bits to go into, and also tiredness hit me like a brick wall out of nowhere. I was full of energy earlier in the day, but Jesus, that afternoon slump really fucking hit me today. Like, usually don't struggle too much with energy, but I was fucking falling asleep at the desk. I think I'm still adjusting to the time zone a little bit, actually, to be fair. Like, I'm only here a few days, you know. How quick can someone adjust to a 4-hour time difference properly? You know, it's probably not going to happen in 2 days. So I do think that's probably having an impact on it. So realistically, I'm eating dinner and I actually still have to reply to clients after this, which will take me maybe, hopefully less than an hour, maybe like 45 minutes, something like that. That's Monday. Monday is a big long day, it's check-in day, it's the longest day of the week. There's a lot of shit to get through. So, you know, realistically, considering I started a bit later today, this is a good time to be basically done. Like, it's a good time. So it's time for my chicken biryani. Okay, chicken biryani taste test. It's okay. Like, it's not groundbreaking, to be honest. I've definitely had better. I'm not convinced with this meal prep company. I'm not convinced so far. Snack was nice, but I expect better for the amount of money I'm paying, so I might potentially test another one. But that being said, they're sending different meals. So I have these for the next 4 days, and they're sending different meals every day. So we'll see how the rest of the meals are. Maybe I just got a bad batch today. But yeah, I'm gonna eat this, chill out, respond to clients, and then call it a night, I think. Okay, so that is client messages responded to. So it's like 8:30 now, and I am gonna have some of this Greek yogurt, bit of protein powder, bit of banana, bit of dark chocolate, and that'll be me. Only about, maybe, based off my estimations, about 300 calories left, so there'll be no oats with yogurt. I usually have oats and yogurt in the evening, but tonight it'll just be yogurt. So I'm actually gonna make that and check back in with you in a second. It's not exactly the picture of aesthetic food or a perfect meal, but it's gonna do me for tonight. It's about 300 calories. It's probably got like 25 grams of protein in it, and it's gonna tide me over. So I'd be lying the rest of today if I said the rest of the day went perfectly planned, because I did find out last minute that I have to go to Ras Al Khaimah, or however you fucking say the name, tomorrow at 12:05 to finish off my visa process and get like my biometrics on my Emirates ID. So just to explain, I set up my free zone company in a different emirate because it's cheaper. Now, don't worry, this is what the vast majority of people do. Ras Al Khaimah is a different emirate in the United Arab Emirates. Dubai is one of the emirates. But obviously I'm staying in Dubai, but I have to go to fucking Ras Al Khaimah tomorrow, which is an hour and a half, and the taxi there and back is going to come to like basically like €150, which is a bit of a pain. I did consider renting a car instead because they're not like that expensive, but to be honest, the last thing I need on the day where I have to be to my appointment on time is driving on the right side of the road when I've never driven on the right side of the road before and crashing a car or something. I can't be dealing with that. So tomorrow I will be pretty much finishing up my visa process, which is exciting though. So look, I know the taxi is expensive, but it's done after that. The most of the big steps are done after that, so that's a big dub. And yeah, I'm gonna eat this, and I'm gonna watch a little bit of The Longest Yard, which again is such a random thing to be watching. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and if you like this, please drop a like, please share it even to your story on Instagram if you really enjoy it, because it genuinely means a lot. Like, if people enjoy them, show me love, comment, like, share, I will keep doing them more consistently, because I do actually enjoy recording them. And also, comment below. Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to stay here. It's too fucking expensive. I was going to say comment below, should I stay here, try some other places, but do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try out a few different spots and see what I like best. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.